This is the upcoming Xtra Muse 2 Pro, and last week I was able to try out a pre-production unit. The camera's not out yet, but I just wanted to share my first impressions of it so you can kind of get an idea of what this upcoming camera will have to offer. And Xtra is not paying me to make this video, although they did invite me to their first look event, so that's how I was able to just get my hands on the camera for a little bit. Now just for some context, if you're unfamiliar with Xtra as a company, they're fairly new, but they did gain a lot of popularity for releasing the Xtra Muse, which has a lot of similar features to the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, which that's been my main travel camera that I absolutely love. And soon we're going to be getting the Xtra Muse 2 and Xtra Muse 2 Pro. And I didn't try out the Muse 2, however, I was able to spend a few hours with the Muse 2 Pro, so that's the camera I'll be talking about today. So first up, let's just talk a little bit about the image quality. The standout feature of the Muse 2 Pro is that you can get up to 17 stops of dynamic range, and they have a new X-Log3 profile, which I did get to test out a little bit, and actually did a side-by-side test against my FX3, and I backlit myself just so I can really see the dynamic range. And I gotta say, the image coming out of the Xtra Muse 2 Pro was really good, and I was actually able to match it pretty well with my FX3, which that is great news, because one, that actually means I can really use it as a B cam to my Sony FX3 if I ever needed, and two, I love the image quality coming out of the FX3, so the fact that the Muse 2 Pro holds up against the FX3 really says a lot, especially considering the fact that the Muse 2 Pro is going to be under $700, and my Sony FX3 brand new I believe is going for like $4,300 in the US right now. So the dynamic range and image quality coming out of the Muse 2 Pro is really impressive. And that doesn't mean I'm replacing my Sony FX3. This camera is my baby. I'm still going to be using this thing, but I just think it's really cool that the image looks really good compared to my super expensive cinema camera. Another feature I'm super hyped about is the dual lenses on the Muse 2 Pro. The first lens is the 1x20mm lens, and I've said in previous videos, but I really love that focal length, especially for travel, just because it's wide enough to capture these beautiful environments, but it's not too wide where it looks just like a fisheye. And the second lens is the 60mm 3x tele lens, which is a great focal length for punching in and kind of isolating your subject from the background. So having two dedicated focal lengths is perfect, and it opens up a larger variety of shots I can get while I'm out shooting. And yes, the dual lenses does make the camera a bit bulkier, so if you're focused on having the absolute lightest and smallest camera setup, you can still get the Xtra Muse or the Muse 2 when that camera comes out. Now for the camera body itself, I did find it familiar and comfortable to use. It feels pretty similar to my Osmo Pocket 3. It's a handle and a gimbal, and it does have a swiping screen. The main difference is that it now has like this ambidextrous swipe screen where you can swipe it either left or right. So personally, I do prefer when the camera monitor is in the middle, like on my Osmo Pocket 3, just because I feel like it makes framing shots feel a little bit more natural. However, it's not a deal breaker in any way, and if I was left-handed, I'd be happy they have that option. There's also one feature I'm actually really happy they made on the Xtra Muse 2 Pro, which is including a built-in quarter 20 thread on the bottom of the handle. On my DJI Osmo Pocket 3, it doesn't have a built-in quarter 20, so you have to add this handle grip extension thing, which just kind of makes the grip kind of longer and more awkward. So every time I put it in a bag, I would always have to unplug that handle extension and put it away. And some creators mentioned that their unit was freezing on them, but I didn't have any issues with mine. And one thing that's important to note is that we were using pre-production units. I used it for about 3 hours, and I was in direct sunlight. It did get pretty warm to the touch, but we were literally filming out in direct sunlight in LA, and it was a really hot day. For the subject tracking, I did do a direct comparison with my DJI Osmo Pocket 3. I didn't test out this feature a ton, so I can't give detailed notes, but in this test, the subject tracking was pretty great. Now, when it comes to the competition of pocket cameras, we have the Insta360 Luna Ultra, which is $769 for the standard combo, and it is available in the US. The DJI Osmo Pocket 4P, which I don't know the exact price because unfortunately it's not available in the US, but I can find the standard combo on eBay for $775. This would make the Xtra Muse 2 Pro the cheapest of the three, so I think the price point is definitely worth considering the Muse Pro, and that's the camera I'll be going with once it comes out. But let me know what you think about the Muse 2 Pro in the comments, and be sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more content from me. Peace.